Vega Squadron taking on Team Spirit. It's their first game of the Major. We're in London for the FACEIT Major 2018, and Counter-Strike is here to be celebrated for the next 3 weeks. We're going to be up on your screens and maybe up in front of you in the arena if you do choose to grab yourself a ticket. I think they're selling like hotcakes. But either way, getting ready for this one. It's an intriguing matchup because we have a team that did, of course, come from the CIS region just last year, didn't manage to get to legend status, hanging out here now as they battle to get further into the tournament, and we have almost a V2 as such. Introductions first, though. Sponge and Dabs hanging out with myself.
We did have a lot of shark gifts.
We did. Gosh, yes, Vega Squadron and the shark gifts as they were once again causing upsets. But will this be as clear-cut? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know too much about them, if I'm honest.
I want to preface this whole situation. If you're about to tune in and watch this game for beautiful Counter-Strike, you're going to be disappointed. So right now, I would like you to just remove yourself from that. You might get an entertaining game. You might get a back-and-forth affair with players who know each other quite well because they're both from the same region. They're both battling for, I guess, position to be that next team to really break out.
Yeah.
However, these guys have dropped off the face of the earth ever since, you know, other than you look at Spirit, who have been playing a little bit more recently. Vega we haven't seen a lot from. I think the last game they played was on the 26th of June. It was a DreamHack Stockholm qualifier, and they just, you know, did nothing.
And that's Vega Squadron you're talking about.
Yeah.
We'll actually continue to take a look at some of their highlights while we do focus on them, because you're right, they have completely fallen off the map. Vega Squadron, they played in, I mean, that was what, 2 months ago now? 3 months ago? Their last game of Counter-Strike was played.
That's some time ago, right? And
yeah.
I think, they lost Mir as well, right?
They lost Mir, and they've only played 5 matches in the last 3 months. 5 officials.
Matches, 5 official games. I mean, maybe it's because they've been locked in a deep basement somewhere doing all of the crazy strategies preparing for the Major.
I mean, just from my history practicing against Vega Squadron, I don't think they use their time the best. And I'm not... I don't like calling out teams like this, but it just, even when they had Mir, it just didn't seem like they really, I'm not going to say they don't care. They obviously care, but it just seemed like they just were careless in the practice, and they just sort of didn't use their time effectively.
Similar to our conversation about Renegades previously, right? They didn't necessarily use their scrim time as effectively as other teams.
Yeah.
I think the people that we should note, because if you tuned in for the last Major, you would have known Mir and Kashanda were on this roster, and Kabakin still has his name there, but he's officially, as far as I'm aware, changed his name, not HLTV.org, at least, to Tony Black. And Crush is the other player that's come in. So Kabakin used to play back with Na'Vi when Seized first joined. Now you have to really think a ways back to remember that one. But there are names within the CIS region that are on the other side of things that you may remember, and Davcost played for Flipside.
Right.
So he's on that Spirit lineup now. And look, in terms of what we can expect from these teams in the server, it's so difficult to say because the CIS region always brings a bit of a twist, just like the Swiss system here, but it's not the most beautiful or fundamentally sound version of Counter-Strike.
We'll take a look. Team Spirit, of course, Davkos, Dima, Sotfik, Koldy, and Sumdai Young. Now, I've heard a lot of things about well, I was supposed to say
SDY?
SDY. I think it was, yeah, there he is. Oh, he does call himself SDY. But yeah, Sumdai Young, I remember reading a lot about him as he was kind of absolutely slaying in the FPL circuit, and now he finds himself in this roster.
I think we'll be very surprised with Spirit. Even when I made the tweet where I picked Spirit over Vega, a lot of people who haven't really been keeping up with these teams think Vega is the favorite, but actually Spirit's won the last 3 matches versus Vega Squadron, and just from people in the CIS region and even people tweeting back at me, they all say like not to underestimate Spirit because they definitely play a lot better. And I think a lot of their individual players are performing better as well.
Oh, you're starting to sell me on it.
According to Vega Squadron's results on HLTV.org, the last game that they played was actually against Spirit on Cache, and they lost 16-9.
And this is where I take it to an intriguing conversation topic. Teams from the same region that play each other a lot. Daps, I'm sure you've got some experience with this as well from the North American region. Does the game play differently because you've played against each other so often?
It does make a huge difference, and it even might put a little bit of pressure on Spirit since they have beaten them a lot in the past. Or most recently, I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, domestic matchups are always a lot more scrappy than normal.
And where do you think that comes from? Is it just the fact that you're second guessing each other?
Look, from my experience with it, it's because you know how everybody plays, and I can imagine more so in that North American hyperbolic time chamber that you guys have going on over there, that you know you pick up these things of how people like to play clutches. For me, when we played against when JDM, I think when he was still on COG, or he could have moved to a different team at that point in time. But on Cache, if he was always saving an AWP, he would leave Squeaky Door open and then hide behind Quad. right? But I knew that. Like, I learned that very quickly.
Yeah,
So
and now
these are things to pick up.
before this game starts, I want to make sure Daps gets his golden nuggets out. You said you've got a couple of interesting kind of observations you've been making about these rosters. Could you fill us in? Is there anything before we get into the game?
I mean, the main observation is just Vega Squadron is a relatively newer 5-man lineup, as Chad said earlier. And Spirit is a sort of a team on the up and up. They had a close final at the Minor versus Hellraisers, where both maps they lost went to 16-14. And the map they won 16-6 versus Hellraisers on Mirage. So I think Spirit is a team to look out for, and I think they're one of the dark horses.
Like a QBF.
I think they're better than QBF.
Yeah.
I think they have potential to be like the likes of Complexity, Rogue, other teams like that.
Right. Do you think they'll get out of the 8 teams?
Ooh.
I don't think they'll get out, but I think they're up for a win or two.
Yeah, could be one of those 2-2 teams that we get to see really grind it out towards the end of this Swiss with a twist. Now, I've been told that the casters are ready. That does usually mean that the game is ready, and I know you're panicking. What's the map? We haven't done it. Well, don't worry. I can announce that the map is Mirage, a map that they just did to beat Hellraisers on, and it sounds like Anders and Moses are locked and loaded. So, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, and we're going to find out if Team Spirit can surprise an opponent they're all too familiar with. Vega Squadron versus Spirit to pick up their first win of the London Major. Let's jump over to Jason and Anders.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Alex. And domestic matchup here at the middle of the day. We've sort of made it halfway through. Moses, how are you feeling? We're at the Major finally.
I'm obviously very excited for this. I'm actually pumped. I'm a little thrown off by this music. I like it. It's just new. It's like it's like we're the Hardy Boys.
I enjoy this. I think it's good.
It's like we have a mystery to solve.
Yeah, the mystery about who's going to be winning this game. I mean, it's going to be a quick one, best of one. So
I'm so excited as well that Vega Squadron is back.
Yeah.
Those are my boys.
They
for no other reason than a lot of shark gifts last major.
You've got some more stored up. Have you been preparing? Is that actually the only prep?
So that's what I was doing all in Stockholm when we weren't casting. I was just looking up new shark animations.
There are a lot of them, so maybe you get to use some of them. Obviously, the other great Vega Squadron meme I'm looking forward to, the jumping Mac 10s that we saw a lot of. I feel like even if they've lost a couple of players, that'd be nice to get that back into the mix. Let's see how this all plays out. It's going to be Vega Squadron starting on the CT side and Team Spirit here on the T side of Mirage for a best-of-one game here at the FACEIT London Major. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be exciting. I think this is going to be a fun game between two teams that know each other quite well.
It's obviously one of the great things at this stage is to get a glimpse at teams that we haven't seen too much throughout the season. Right off the bat, all 5 players from Team Spirit in these B halls, and the positioning from Hutchie is going to be nice. Actually, a bait and switch with him and Crush, and we'll see how it's handled. 1 kill from Crush would mean so much.
Yeah, it would make a big difference, but he's going to fall back, leaving Hutchie alone. That seems almost a bit heartless, but what could he really do? Dima will take down the first kill of the round, and Coldy will follow it up. So that's the B defense pretty much wiped out, and it doesn't get much better from there on out. JR, his gun and his whole hand showing. Sotvik able to pick up that kill. No problem at all. That leaves just Tony Black alone 1 versus 5. You hate to see it.
You really do hate to see it. That did not go well at all. And, I mean, having Daps that spoke so highly of Spirit in this matchup as well kind of makes me worried because I did pick Vega to win.
Yeah, maybe
a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of love.
Maybe you'll have to abandon them for once, Moses.
I might have to get off the shark train. It is just pissed around though, and obviously that's just so well done from Team Spirit. Obviously, it does come down to that first kill. If Crush is able to get one of those frags, they take their attention away. He falls back, and they can trade some kills into it. But rotation's not there quick enough for Vega, and that's going to be a pissed around for Team Spirit. Quick 1-0.
Yeah, they've probably played that round a couple of times, Vega, and had that kind of luck and success with it, so they felt confident in doing it.
To be fair as well, Team Spirit's probably gotten up against that kind of a setup, once or twice. That's a pretty popular way to play that B bomb site, and obviously does not pan out for them here. Nothing to slow down that hit.
Now we've got 3 HE grenades. I was hoping that we could get a couple more. Maybe grenade top mid. That's always fun.
No flashbang for you?
Yeah, it's real disappointing. There is a smoke of the kit though, Moses. When is the last time we've seen someone at the professional level play intentionally for the Ninja defuse? It's been like 3 or 4 years maybe.
It has been a while. We've seen some cool ones on this map though over the years. It's been a while. I think teams have started to realize it does get a little bit embarrassing when that happens to you, so they don't mess with the Ninja defuse anymore. Everyone sticks around, so it doesn't happen too frequently. I was actually confused. Chopper was saving money. No longer. He's just bought back up into things as there's a small delay, but freeze time is expiring now. 10 seconds left to get into this second round, and a lot of rifles picked up by Team Spirit with the understanding they're going to be facing up against those 4 spies, those Deagles, those CZs with armor.
Yeah, not taking very many risks, and can't really blame them for it again. Such a brutal opening beginning to the Major when you're playing best of one. You don't want to mess anything up.
Ooh. Oh, that's so nice. Look at those 3 grenades. Beautiful damage. Now all they have to do is capitalize, and those Deagles can do work. Team Spirit, an error at the beginning of this round.
Yeah, absolutely, and they were punished heavily for it. You have to think that's going to be in the back of their mind for the rest of this round, just knowing that 3 of their members are very low. It means Sotfik and SDY are going to have to find some kind of way to get back into this round. It's really on them now to look for the openings. The rest of them, yeah, a couple of bullets away from death.
I don't know. This is going to be so tough for them to get back into it. And I guess falling back to the A bomb site and doing some kind of a full-blown, just an organized hit is the only way to pull it off. Get the smokes up. You still have all your utilities since you took this much damage, but it's going to be dangerous because those CZs, the Deagles, they can all spam through that smoke and do great damage.
Look at right now where JR is actually holding. If they go for this A execute, which it kind of feels like they will, he's got at least some chance to maybe shoot them in the back. It looks like there is at least one of them, Coldy, I think, making his way up through the apartment. So that would be something, and JR's fallen back in the meantime. He might get caught completely out in the open. Looks for the return, but just not going to be able to pick it up. Dima instead to take him down.
Oh, they stack the B bomb site, and that could be the opening that Spirit needs. Tony Black can't fight until his teammates get in on the rotation. They're all coming through the window towards jungle, towards that murder hole. And yeah, now those AKs at long range, even with the low HP, you start getting these rifles at range, and it actually just... I mean, Vega obviously doesn't know how many players they have tagged this low from the grenades. So it's just it's kind of a scary prospect, and I think Spirit just got away with one.
Yeah, just slowing it down, which, I mean, even that could be dangerous when you're that low on health, but they made it work, and I think that might actually be the crucial difference that you just mentioned. The fact that they don't know that 3 of them are going to be that low. If
they had that knowledge, they're playing way more aggressive, and likely they even go for this, especially with that kit. Gonna save, though. Gonna bring it in them all into the next round. They still have upgraded pistols and armor on 3 of these players. They still have that kit. 1 flashbang on Chopper, so they're going to get another pretty decent chance, although it'll be interesting to see if they decide to invest in another, 3 nades or 4 nades or whatever it might be.
I'm very upset, Moses. I feel like we deserve one more grenade to that top mid. It'd be beautiful to start off a round with 3 kills.
Yeah, it would have been great. Just like blind as well, not even seeing it, just going for the timing.
We don't get rewarded this time. Maybe in the future we'll see some of that. It really does rarely work for some reason, but it's always entertaining whenever it does. So
I mean, the messed up thing is, like, that nade stack, obviously, it worked, right? Like, it did do the damage that they wanted. It softened everybody up, and, I mean, you have to say that's a successful tactic that Vega just brought out. They just couldn't capitalize upon it. And I think that's going to be, the first, if there are to be many, sighs of relief for for Spirit to get out of that round. Here we are one more time, mid-control, but this time not all clumping up into the choke point. Dima's going to be there alone. They're going to clear out the underpass. No aggression from Vega, although Crush is starting to push those upper B halls.
I like the idea of checking the underpass like that. I think they kind of messed up the order of it, but I think that shot that was going up the stairs was supposed to mask the sound of the pin being pulled from the grenade.
Yeah.
Which you can hear if you're close enough, and obviously it's a huge dynamic in professional level Counter-Strike that people sometimes overlook, but I think he did it sort of after it happened, so it was a bit weird, but still.
I think it's also to make sure that they hear the gunfire, they think someone's turned the corner, and they're looking right at the flashbang, right?
Yeah, maybe it works both ways, but I still rather shoot before the pin. Just
your own personal pet peeve.
Yeah, it's really small details here, but then again, they don't really have much to fight with Vega, so gotta come up with something here. Tony Black, there's a good kill, and gonna get hunted down. Of course. Very careful to turn that corner and not overpeak it. Doing a good job in following up that kill, taking down Chopper. For my money's worth, at least from what we've seen, even it's been a long time, Chopper is an exciting player to watch as well.
He is a very fun player. We'll see how he kind of works, especially on the T side when he can be so aggressive. There's some good kills coming out from Spirit, and Hutchie's going to go down. No chance for him. And relatively easy follow-up 2 rounds. Actually, relatively easy 3 rounds to start this out with a clean sweep in the pistol. And not really having to worry too much. So, 3-0. Here come the guns. The AWP is going to be in JR's hands. He was saving up. Again, as always, utility is diminished due to the investment in that second round. No kits on the CT side.
Yeah, this is just a typical kind of 4th round buy out of Vega. When you invest into pistols in that second round, this is what you get. So that does open a lot more opportunities for Spirit, I feel like, especially in the afterplant when they don't have to face those Molotovs. That's going to be really helpful to them. They're going to actually just speed it up, run into the connector, and take down Chopper. Dima giving it all for the course and going down to his own Molotov just to make absolutely sure they can get that kill. That's probably still worth it, even if it's a little bit painful. This Molotov to try and push out Crush. He's going to try and smoke it off immediately and make sure no one can chase him out of there too soon. SDY pushed up close. That's one big kill, and look at the follow-up as well. Taking down Crush, Hudgy, and JR. Yeah, that's the bomb, but still it's a 2-on-3, and his teammate is miles away. Hudgy has to do this on his own, and he's not going to be able to. Coldie will take him down.
That is a wild entry from Dima. That is insane, and that's got to be frustrating to go up against. But even the follow-up from SDY coming all the way up along that A wall, Vega not even aware it's happening. He got so close before anyone from Vega Squadron was even prepared for that kind of attack. So another solid hit with the Molotov, forcing the smoke out, denying information to the player underneath the balcony. Well-coordinated pinch. And JR is going to have to fight for this, and there's a lot of money built up. As we said, there's only one player that fell in those second and third rounds for Spirit, so they can spend some cash and lose a player or two trying to hunt this down. At the moment, it's just Coldie. And I think they're going to meet. Is JR fast enough? Yes, he is. The op is going to be salvaged for the next round, but Vega Squadron on the back foot early on.
What a round to pull that in. First time they pick up rifles, they probably just want to slow into that round and make sure they can feel those M4s. But not even being allowed to. This is great.
That's just really good timing. That player coming up along the wall, able to get one kill. The CT spawn player starts to swing to take care of him, and that's when the op peeks and picks him off. So really good coordination on the hit. All that Vega really have to hope for. They have obviously some upgraded pistols, but that op is going to have to do some work early on. Thin the herd a little bit before the pistols get involved. JR is going to take that into connector. He's going to go for that fight at top mid. There's Dima coming around the smoke, and there's an opportunity for JR, but he gets blinded at the last second, going to fall away.
Yeah, a bit of a shame. That would have been a big way to open a round if they could have got one of those kills, but instead, now they've really slowed it down, and you could tell that Team Spirit are just content for the moment to sit around and wait for anyone to show up. They've got T-spawn covered even in case someone was going to try and push up, and in the meantime working the middle, securing that control. They've got so much time to work with. They don't really need to take big risks at the moment.
Well, they just spotted the op shot a bullet over at that B bomb site. So Team Spirit have to make a decision. It looks like they're falling all the way back, and this is likely why to go hit that A bomb site as quick as possible. JR has the read though. And actually, Team Spirit has slowed down, so if they commit to this hit on this side of the map, the op is going to be there. And if they were trying to take advantage of the sole weapon being at the other bomb site, they've taken this far too slow to have that luxury.
Yeah, here's something a bit awkward as well. They've got two smokes, so if they throw one to jungle and one to CT spawn, that's not going to cover everything. JR is in a great position, instant kill, taking down Davkost, and he follow it up. Only 36 seconds now left for Team Spirit. They've walked right into a bomb site that's fully stacked at the moment. There's only one person missing from this lineup here, and at least Chopper's going to be going down. Coldie doing a good job opening that deagle, not connecting on Tony Black, and they kind of needed that because now there's going to be a full-on push to it. Crush hoping to stay alive here, doing a little bit of damage, but it's just not going to happen. And JR, you could see he felt very uncomfortable putting that AWP into fight after he'd got spotted at this position. Just didn't want to walk into any kind of AK-47 shot, and gonna have to try and see if he gets saved it one more time.
And he needed to do a little bit more to keep them in that round, but he's not even sure if he's getting wrapped upon, and Coldie is actually all the way already rotating around through the B halls to pin off that bomb site. SDY is going to push forward on top of these boxes, waiting for this exact peek, and JR's not expecting it. Oh, nice flick. Back to CT spawn he goes. Should be able to keep it, but he's got to get far enough away from the bomb blast, and I think that's where Coldie's going to take this away. So likely going to have to be a reinvestment for Vega Squadron in the op in this next round.
Yeah, frustrating knowing that someone had run that whole distance. Like, once you realize, oh, yeah. So how far did he trek to try and get that kill? But it's well worth it. Good idea.
He had his opportunities to get way more aggressive as well. Like you said, there were only a couple smokes, and actually I think the first player that he picked off had one of those smokes. They only had one, so he could have tried to have been a little bit more aggressive about it and tried to find ways to have more impact.
So much money on the Spirit side in spite of the fact that they've only won 5 rounds, but they've still managed to build up a pretty good bank, which is impressive. Vega Squadron. How did they get back into this game? It just really feels like it's all happening on Team Spirit's terms right now. This is what I kind of like. That jump down the middle from JR, just trying to flex a little bit. Show something. He's very much alone, though, making this an incredibly high-risk play. What is going on, Moses?
Yeah, that is a bit mental. Stuck around a long time looking towards underpass. Back turn to top mid. Doesn't get punished by it, but still. At the moment, Hutchie and Crush over in that B bomb site. Chopper and Tony Black hanging out at A, and it's just JR with this op. Waiting for someone to cross over. Here comes the utility, hears it. Smoke in front, gonna peer over the top. Shows an arm, but he can't hit it.
It's a big opportunity there. Definitely could have maybe at least been some damage dished out. Good read on the Molotov, forcing the player coming from underpass a little bit out of it. You still have 3 men at the A bomb side. It sort of feels like, well, actually the bomb is quite far back, which is a little bit weird. I was caught off guard. Maybe even they were, because they've sent 3 people back to try and pick it up. They've got the mid control. They've managed to lodge 1 guy in here, and that was actually a big part of the strategy that's just gone away. Good shot from JR.
Yeah, that's a really good find. Getting aggressive now. He's moving to the other side of the map, trying to be mobile, trying to confuse Team Spirit with his position, but he's actually rotated away from the action. Here comes the hit. Chopper is going to be isolated inside the bomb site. Tony should be smoked off. Crush, he should be smoked off as well. It'll be tough for him to get into the fight. And Chopper is going to have so much to do. And actually, they don't smoke him off. Crush gets the first. That allows Chopper to peek out. And this is going to be the first round for Vega on the board. It's a 5-on-2 scenario. Less than 10 seconds. And all of Team Spirit, these last 2 players, are going to fall away. Vega's going to be fine with that as they want to save up some money.
Yeah, they're loving this situation right now, especially after losing 5 in a row. I don't know. I feel like you could definitely use 4 people to get that mid control and then kind of fall back and leave 1 guy there, but it felt like they had it. I feel like they must have thought someone had the bomb somewhere else and that they were going to do. I felt like that was sort of a last minute decision for Team Spirit, because once that 1 guy in connector goes down.
Yeah, it's very possible just because of the fact that he was aggressive. Like, if you're going to have the aggression of that strategy come from connector, you should have more than 1 player there.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be passive and, be a lurk, and he'd be able to push up and stop, one of that player in jungle who was taking shots. Didn't happen that way. Now Davkos going to get aggressive, sees the shadow, fires too early, double nade on him as well. Down to 11 HP for his troubles. He's kind of got to fall back. Any random spam that comes through, or just Crush pushing right through the smoke. And there goes Davkos.
Yeah, it felt like a shot that he definitely could have had. They were falling back rather slowly, not even aware that he was going to be there. And now pushing up on the other side, Team Spirit. Just a couple of bumps in the road for them here in the last round, and maybe in this one too. Tony Black is very close to the corner, and Dima's going to be walking in with Shadow showing first, instantly down, and a follow-up headshot with the bomb dropped. Great double kill for Tony Black, and leaving Coldy and SDY wondering how do they even get out of these apartments. I'm not sure there really is a way.
No, there isn't at all. And even if they do, they have to go back for the bomb towards A ramp, so they're going to split up. SDY is running the whole way. Tony Black knows this coming. Great round from him, using the shadow perfectly. 40 seconds left for Coldy to get a pick. SDY's got to wait for that smoke to clear. Any damage is good damage. There's the peek right into the AWP. 1 versus 5, a pair of really good rounds for Vega. I think they've, survived now with all 5 players in both of these so far, unless SDY has something to say about it. There's the first kill. He's going to have a follow-up with Tony Black, who's getting aggressive, can't win it. Triple kill for Tony Black. Vega still building into this game.
Yeah, it's very tricky. I mean, there's a decision to be made when you're coming back to that corner that Tony was holding. You always have to think, well, if there's someone close, then we should really throw sort of a pop flash. But if we do that, and there's someone who's by shadow instead, they'll hear the pop flash and know.
Yeah, they get the early call, right?
Right, so you're sort of giving it up, and I don't know if there is a right or a wrong, but definitely in that round, a flashbang would have helped them out so much, and that killed the round almost immediately.
I think the more important thing to notice as well is these last 2 rounds, Vega's read that they've fallen back to the A bomb site. They've been prepared for it each and every time. Spirit has kind of readjusted that tactic to attack the bomb site. So Team Spirit's got to be a little bit more careful about their mid-round calling and how fast, or how slow I should say, it takes for them to rotate back and turn their attack into something new. Running them out of money as well for the offensive side. 2 players at $0 in the bank. SDY at 100. 1 AWP, 3 AKs, and a MAC-10.
Yeah, first time I think I was expecting more MAC-10s already, Moses. I had my hopes set really high.
Yeah, Vega's quite pioneered that, haven't they? They were the originals. Oh, Davkos finds the shot onto JR, who thought that flashbang was going to be far more effective.
Big find for him too. Quite aggressive pushing on this side, Vega. I really love it, but Chopper's gone down on the other side, and they come in this fight. And just a beautiful opening. Coldie taking down both those players. I mean, otherwise this push out of B would have been really helpful to Vega, but they've lost everything else.
I'm wondering if SUI heard that push-up. He was waiting for it, and I thought, those two players, I think it was Hutchie was the one who kind of ran to start that push. Either way, I don't think they're going to be going for this. They're going to be saving for the next round. There's a lot of money on the Vega Squadron side. These two players can both drop rifles over, even an AWP if they wanted to go that route. So kind of important that they save it and don't lose them. In fact, I'm not even sure they'd be able to force buy if they did lose these M4s. That would be a sketchy scenario. Good recovery from Team Spirit to get up to 6 already in this first half.
Yeah, and you really want a better conversion on that kind of risk that was taken from Vega, pushing 2 into hallways, 2 into the B hallways, right? You want to win one of those fights.
The way this looks as well, from the defense that Vega's putting out, I think Spirit's going to have control of middle whenever they want it. I don't think it's going to be an issue. We haven't seen anyone join JR. Outside of that double nade or triple nade in the second round, we haven't seen basically any bodies put there for Vega Squadron. So if they leave the middle of the map pretty much unmanned for this half, I think Spirit's going to be fine with that. I think they might even be able to run up the score. If they break Vega one more time, they'll have a huge advantage.
It's already looking very good indeed. 6-2 in favor of Team Spirit. They are off to a brilliant start here on the first half of Mirage. Vega, even if they won the last couple of rounds and they had a lot of men stay alive, you're right, their money is kind of dwindling pretty quickly once again. Although this round is going to be just fine in terms of grenades. See if they decide to fight for it a little bit. As you said, still not really much of a mid-presence. JR is here, but him alone, he shouldn't be able to stop everybody. Those smokes just make him kind of irrelevant for a while. And look at this uppercut push coming into the B bomb site. Instant takedown. Dafcost winning his fight, and Dima taking down Hudgy as well. And there's another one. So just no defense whatsoever. And you know what, Moses? It's my favorite kind of push on this map. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks so good in this scenario when no one from Vega is even in middle whatsoever. It makes that so much easier. No information. JR was denied by all the smokes and flashes being thrown, all the pressure he felt. He even kind of felt what was coming. He actually kind of even rotated to be very, very quick. Yep. Problem is, Spirit's already up catwalk at that point, and the B defenders aren't expecting it because he doesn't have enough information to actually call that out. That's why you need mid-presence.
As a slightly broken human being yourself, can you empathize with Vega? Can you get a sense for what is their state of mind right now? What's going on?
They just seem a bit. If I had to imagine, I mean, I found it kind of astounding actually that they mentioned on the desk that Vega hadn't played an official game or only 5 official games in 3 months.
Yeah,
that's actually crazy to me that's what happened, especially with the major coming up. You have to imagine they practice, but I have to think with the way that they failed to kind of adapt. Here comes that nade stack again. This time it gets 1 kill, but no damage on anyone else. And I would imagine Spirit should be able to recover from this still. I just think with the amount of mid-presence on gun rounds that they've had, I feel like Vega is just like not really kind of mentally locked in, or else you'd kind of see a little bit more ideas. You'd see a little bit more aggression. You'd see a few more people playing that position because they're getting beat up in middle right now.
It's such a crucial part of the map that if you don't adjust to losing control every single time, or at least make it expensive for them, right? It's just you're losing way too much. It's even parts of the map that Spirit haven't even really tried to exploit, but if they have mid-control, probably they can get control of the ladder room as well. And that opens up window from another direction, so there's plenty of stuff for them to work with if they really want to. JR hearing a couple of steps behind him, and he's just waiting here in kitchen. SDI right in front, and it looked like maybe that could have been a great 2-for-1 C-set 75 spray down. It just doesn't work out that way. So I think here that AK-47 won that fight, no problem. Leaving the rest of Vega in another awkward position. They've gone top mid, and they will actually find the AK, so I guess Crush did that. I thought maybe someone would have tried to throw it away in T-spawn, but not this time.
I think they're more worried about taking advantage, and I think this is where you can see 2 B splits in a row now. Really taking advantage of that lack of mid-presence, and actually, I think that AK is going to get saved by Crush. I think that's the right call. He's backing off. He was closing the gap a little bit, maybe to try and get 1 or 2 kills, but I think Vega needs that weapon far more than you need to cause Spirit to lose something.
Moses, maybe they've taken sort of the high school approach to this. You know how in high school you'd write the essay like the day before, just to sort of like, didn't want to like put too much pressure on yourself and.
Yeah, like you crammed for like an hour and a half. You stayed up all night and crammed for like an hour and a half, or wrote the essay all in one night instead of across a week.
Exactly. Maybe that's how they're doing this, Vega. They're just like, listen, I mean, kind of like we've got prac rooms here. We can get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, it's a bold strategy. We'll see how it works out for him. At the moment, it's not looking great. It's not ideal. Down 2-8.
Yeah. The grades are going to be coming in any second now, and it's a little bit nervous at the moment.
Mom's going to have to sign the report card.
We don't do that in Denmark, and I've always been very happy about that.
You lucky dogs.
8-2, and moving into the 11th round. Smoke is immediately up from JR, so no chance for him to see much of anything. And again, they're going to try and get that mid-control immediately. This time they actually throw the smoke on the other side, so Dima already pushed up, crushes right in front. Stolen AK-47, he almost does make that kill work. That could have been great. The follow-up grenade, oh, is he going to bounce down? Oh, it's very close. I would have loved that.
That would have been great. That would have been a very nice sequence. One of the few nades they have. So Dima will likely turn into a lurker in this situation. I imagine he's just going to try and cut off rotations, maybe be alive for the clutch. Maybe they try and plant for middle. And again, another round where Spirit, they're just going to rotate back towards the A bomb site for a straight-up execution. Look at that. Pretty interesting. There's Dima. Oh, he fell asleep at the wheel. He had a great chance to take off JR. Not able to do it, although JR has backed away from that window pressure, so he's going to be out of the fight when this does come in.
Oh, if this turns into a bomb plant, they have almost no grenades with which to retake this, so it's going to be very tricky. Chopper instantly down, and Tony Black in front of the potential smoke position here. That's very dangerous for him. Still going to open up 2 great kills before he finally goes down to Dapcost. Still, what a great defense being set up by him. Dapcost with an incredible flick, taking down JR. Instant headshot, and he follows it up as well. He is so dialed into this game right now. Great triple for him. And Team Spirit now 9-2 in spite of the defense from Tony Black, which is great. It's not enough.
Yeah, really nice job inside the bomb site, just biding your time, getting that double kill when they're concentrated over towards fighting JR in jungle. And for Davkos, yeah, this is just nasty. Without those nades, without flashbangs, so much space for him to close the gap with that AWP. No obstacles really in his way, and Spirit have just such a commanding lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the way back is for them right now. I think it's true. Like, that whole mid thing is just time and time again, it just comes back to haunt them.
Well, I mean, at least this time they stopped it, right? Crush had that AK-47 on Catwalk, which is the first time we saw anyone get aggressive with those smokes on Cat. He's able to do massive damage to one player, forcing them to rotate back to A early on. They even clean him out when JR peeks window. But, you know, you can't do anything after that as well. Not really mobile, didn't have the information of where to go towards that A bomb site. We've seen Vega actually read that play a number of times. That round just not able to pull it out. 9-2, quickly turning into a beatdown, Anders.
Good old beatdown.
Good old fashioned. Yeah, we do.
I mean, it's still early on here at the Challenger stage, but you still have to assume that they are going to want to do their very best, Vega, and right now we're not really seeing that. Obviously, it is slightly affected by the fact that their economy has been so poor throughout this first half, but still, you want to have a couple of more chances here before we go into the second half. Already losing Tony Black and follow-up. I mean, oh, man.
Yeah, I think even he can appreciate the laughter on that one. There's nothing to really do. They're having all the answers at the moment. No weaponry to really scare him off.
They'd already Molotov that position once, so he probably felt, if I just jump in there, they're not going to do it a second time. Oh,
they did. Well, now look, they're just hitting the pause button. They just say, all right, well, you guys are going to have to like push and find some information if you want any chance of winning this. And a lot of opportunities for Chopper and Hutchie to just get eliminated quickly. CZ close up. Dima the first to turn the corner. He checks that, of course. Chopper still underneath, and they know where Crush is. And they're even going to look for this one as well. So Spirit having all the answers.
You know what? I'd be so upset if I was Vega right now. I mean, obviously because they're losing, but also because they get those entry Spirit. They have AKs versus CSET 75s, and they still wait for like a good 30 seconds after the first round of entries. You're standing there in the A-bombs and come on, just, you know, at least just go, right?
Yeah.
Why are you waiting for such a long time? But it's, you know, I guess they just don't want to let go of this lead no matter what.
It's also frustrating to be in that, like, when you're down 9-2, and it's like, why are they still playing this like so cautiously? Like, why aren't they kind of, you know, picking up the pace and around, or they have a clear advantage? It can piss you off a little bit as a player. Tony Black inside the bomb site. Here we go. Sticking around the default plant. They're not going to search for him, but he's got a nade in his hands. He's actually just Molotov'd his teammate as well. That was, we're not going to put that one on the highlight reel, I don't think.
No, we need the accidental highlight reel, don't we? We need the...
Yeah, we really do.
The bloopers.
We've been talking about that for about 4 events now.
Yeah. Definitely, I mean, generally, if you're going to be throwing any Molotovs, you want to be careful. But if you're flashed...
It is fire.
It is fire. If you're flashed at the same time, really got to double up on the safety there a little bit. Good enough job from Hutji trying to keep the weapons alive as much as he can. Don't want to be challenging Davkos right now. Seems to be in a good mood, but actually he's going to go down. JR sticking around for it. So these are really small victories right now for Vega.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, they eliminated all 5, and Spirit just doesn't even care. Look at their money. Yeah, you give a couple AK-47s over, you get a chance to take the AWP out of their hands, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything for you. 2 more rounds left, and everyone before buying was sitting around 11,000, 12,000. So Spirit most definitely in the driver's seat before switching over to the defensive side.
What's going to stop Davkos right now? I feel like JR's been hitting good enough shots, but I feel like Davkos just had so much space with the lack of grenades. Like, I never see him flashed or anything like that. He's just always having a pretty clean fight.
It's been really ragged for Vega. I mean, they've struggled to get, not just good buys and good weaponry. Ooh. SDY thanking his lucky stars. Dima's going to eat the bullet for him, though. Here comes the pressure onto the bomb site. Chopper is so blind. These flashbangs from Spirit have been great. Unfortunately, SDY is the main person ready to go. He was on low HP, but he's still able to find the entry from far back. Tony Black gets something done around the edge of the smoke. Now he's going to push right back forward into it. SDY still not able to get aggressive, and he might have his hand forced at this point as all of his teammates are falling and his attack is dwindling away. The bomb is dropped inside the site, and all 4 players of Vega are here to defend.
Again, Tony Black coming up with really good defense, and once they shut down the first 1 or 2 players in that bomb site, you can just tell the rest of Team Spirit really slowed down. Like, there's no more pressure coming in. They can handle all of the rest of it, so that's a good job indeed. Coldie going to win one fight in the middle, but SDI just waiting to see if he can make his way in once that smoke goes away, or if someone's going to maybe walk into him. He's just patiently waiting. He's got 40 seconds.
I'm fine. I like this a lot, actually. I mean, it's not a high chance that it's going to work. You'd like SDY or some Die Young to remain a little bit more passive. He's just trying to do enough to keep the attention away, and unfortunately, there's not enough time for Coldie to start walking now. He's got to continue running, but the footsteps will be heard. They might not even be able to go for... Actually, I think Crush has his eyes on this. I don't think this is going to work whatsoever. Yeah, he's waiting for it, not expecting that. So a clever idea, just it takes too long to come to fruition. At that point, if you're a defender, you're like, something's up, something's wrong. Yeah,
still maybe worth a try. I mean, if you had won that round, obviously that would be completely demoralizing to the enemy team. But yeah, good defense, good overall setup here for Vega, and they managed to get another round on the board. So 11-3. We're into round number 15 now. Maybe could get just the last round in there, Moses. That 11-4 scoreline.
Just one more. Whatever you can do to have any kind of a buffer into the second half. JR is going to have that AWP again. This time he's not taking it towards window. Utility being used as a connector, and he's just going to peer over the top. He's expecting that fast catwalk, but it's done so good for them. And now he's starting to get the feel of the game. Now he's starting to find some of those picks in mid to slow these things down. Davkos has a great angle all the way into the A bomb site, but that smoke has just disappeared in window. It will be refreshed in time. For Team Spirit throughout this half, when the rare times they've been in these scenarios, they've always readjusted towards the A bomb site, but Chopper's got such an aggressive stance.
Yeah, see if they can do anything now that they're a man down. They're quickly running out of grenades. I mean, if they wanted to go back to A, you'd want a couple of more smokes again to block off somewhere, and they only have one of them right now. 3 Molotovs instead, but you're dead on right, Moses. They're going to go back to that bomb site, and look at who's playing aggressive on the ramp. This time, Chopper, he'll see them coming, and there should be backup quickly.
He's just got a smoke in his hand. He's playing it like Banana on Inferno. He's just going to, oh no. He's going to get taken down, but they have to press the issue now. No time to line up smokes. They just have to go for it.
Yeah, before the rest come here, that's going to be so frustrating if you're Chopper right now. Not happy about it. 35 seconds. The grenades going over there a little bit slower than we want, but JR still going to miss the chance. That grenade not going to touch. Oh, just does. I think he walked back into it. Otherwise, he would have been fine if he'd kept on running. So quick trade there and a 3-on-3 here. Vega fighting to stay in the game at the moment. And only 19 seconds for Team Spirit to make it onto the bomb site and try and get that bomb plant down. Crush going to be going down. STY with a great follow-up. And Hudgy has to fall back. He's getting chased. He hits a backwards running headshot on Dapcost. And now JR, he's got that 5-7 shooting through the smoke. He misses one more chance and he's going to have to reload soon. Otherwise, this pistol is not going to do him any favors for the rest of it. A 2-on-2. As Hudgy goes down, it's all on JR. He's going to hit the one shot, but nothing else. STY to finish it in favor of Team Spirit. That's 12-3, and they're looking good right now.
JR finished at the top, 12-10 for him. That's, I mean, not a bad half. It's such a dominant loss, but I think at the end, that last round, he's going to be frustrated with some of those shots he missed. That was all Team Spirit, just running over that A bomb site countless times. Lack of mid control for Vega Squadron really spelled their downfall early on.
What an upsetting way to begin. You've been waiting so long. You're finally here, finally ready to play.
Yeah.
And you get almost nothing out of it. Surely that is in the back of their minds as well. See how they do for the second half that's going to be coming up.
I mean, they talked about on the desk this matchup between these two teams was you know, recently dominated by Team Spirit. So I mean, this is just kind of following in the footsteps. They're slow to get out of spawn as well. I think someone forgot to buy something. Yeah, and he's going to get into this bomb site very late, and that causes Coldie. That is very interesting. You imagine they'd come in a little bit more prepared, but they seem so confused simply buying the weaponry, and now they're under so much pressure.
That's one of the fundamental things you don't want to get wrong in the game. There are a lot of other things that could go wrong that might not be your fault down the line, but that part you've got to get right. Davcost will take down Hudgy, and yeah, wanted to open it up, but just doesn't really seem possible. And sort of like he's at least got a smoke and a kit, so if he gets one kill, he could try and force the rest, but it's just a lot of things that have to fall in place for that to work out. So Vega Squadron will pick up the pistol round in the second half, and I bet that's going to feel a little bit better at least.
At least breathes a little bit of life into you, where you just been, you know, getting battered for 15 rounds straight. Now you have something to at least be happy about. So we'll see what they can do with it. It's going to be a force buy in the second round for Team Spirit. Davcost saving $1,100 just so we can have that AWP. Dropped over to him by Demasik. Fair play. Here's the scout. Let's see if we can get put to work. He's smoked off, just going for some timing shots. Nothing gonna land. Demo with the Deagle is next up, peering off catwalk slowly. Slowly widening his vision.
He really wants someone to peek that left-hand side, but no one has just yet. Instead, he's gonna have to fall a little bit back, and very hard to hold the middle of your Team Spirit. You don't really have anything to do with, so I don't mind them trying to play the corners here and just gotta hope that you can get someone looking the wrong way. Leading the charge with the Mac 10, and he's going to be jumping around the corner. I do love it. Taking down Davcost.
A lot of damage has been done, though. There's an opportunity here, but all the utility is going to start forcing these defenders out in the open. They're rotating over, but Vega can't take too much more damage. One or two players fall at the inopportune moment, and this could be a nightmare. Sotfik still inside the bomb site waiting. Dima as well behind the smoke. When do they make their move? It's all on Sotfik. He's got to find something. More damage done, but no kills. Finally, Cold pounces, and they're trading frags all over, but finally Vega grabbed the advantage. The UMPs come into play right at the end.
He actually hit that jumping CSAT 75 shot. I wasn't really ready for that. That looked like one of those rounds that could have gone way out of control, but good recovery, and they make it work. 12-5 now, and Team Spirit are going to have to save a little while longer before they can start to pick up the rifles in the second half here. Once they do, curious if Vega will have learned anything from playing against them, if they're going to be better on the T side. I mean, that's one of the things that we just don't know about these teams either, is exactly how the balance works out.
Always, again, just to reiterate, always kind of weird sometimes how that works out in the interregional matchups as well. Could really flip the script. Good kills from Vega, though, right at the end. A 6th round for them as they attempt to close the gap. Comeback building, but I think this first gun round is really going to tell a big story if we can have confidence that Vega will be able to make it happen, or else is it just going to kind of peter off?
If they do, I mean, 7-12, if you've got the economic sort of lead, it's definitely doable. It can be done. There's always hope, Moses. Even for you.
Even for me. I don't know about that one. I think it would just be wild considering how organized and how well drilled we saw Spirit on the T side if it was just going to be an utter collapse. Davkos was on point. He's pushed in towards Palace with the AWP. Holding a wide angle. If he misses, he can't get away, but thankfully he nails it. Look at Hutchie, though. There's those flying MAC-10s we've come to know and love out of the Shark team.
It's just so ridiculous, isn't it? I'd be so angry, especially because if I had head armor, maybe it could have been a little bit different. Dima waiting. He knows that Hutchie's on the other side. Hutchie's on the other side somewhere, but he's not able to find him right now. And Vega have just opened up the whole map. 2-on-4 at the moment. It looks like Davkos is about to be in trouble as well. Stealing that AWP is JR. And Dima, well, he's going to get the kill, but I don't think it matters anymore.
Nah, Hutchie just gamed him that whole round, just kept him frozen inside of this B bomb site, and now 1-on-3, bombs getting planted. No reason to even peek catwalk. You're not going to go for the round either way. Good win from Vega, and yeah, as you mentioned, now they are going to have control of the economy. Even with this one M4 being saved, Spirit's going to be wiped out, so Vega's got a chance to continue to close the gap. It's not done yet.
No, it's definitely not done yet, and Team Spirit, in spite of getting that opening kill there, Davkos doing a good job. I feel like that's when you feel really safe. 4 versus 5, you've got the rifles, and they just couldn't hold on to it.
Well, it's that MAC-10, right? Because especially when that goes down to a MAC-10, it's going to be, I have to imagine the comms are just a little bit uncertain. Like, they probably didn't know what they were calling. A couple of players started rotating. You could see it on the mini-map from Team Spirit, getting pulled out of position, and that's when that one kill that Hutchie gets with the MAC-10 really allows the AKs to kind of pounce on those players moving out of their spots.
Yeah, most of the time, the individual MAC-10 is sort of the lead in a charge, right? So it makes sense that they would think that. It just wasn't really the case. And I think Davkos had 2 people in front of him, but he only saw one of them. So he wouldn't have been able to call out, wait a minute, there was 2 over here, so probably not going to be any kind of a B push. Some confusion maybe in that last round for Team Spirit. Still a 5-round gap, but just the money in this round tells most of the story for that CT side at the moment. They're missing a lot. Flashbang could set it up for Dima and the rest of the crew. They're all here, so they're just going to try and collapse on the middle and see if they get the timing down right. One grenade. We always talk about this, how much it could do. See if we get it play out this time. They are kind of getting returned upon pretty hard. Crush and Tony Black are going to close out the round. Still, I like it.
You can see the benefits of it, right? Like, if they win those close-up battles, if there isn't as many bodies there for Vega, then maybe they can salvage some of the AKs and make something happen at long range later on. Maybe there's a couple players waiting closer towards the A bomb site. Gave you a chance for something, but the range reigns supreme in the end. 8-12. Vega on a 5-round winning streak. That also means the full losing bonus is going to go the way of Team Spirit. They get the full cash money at this point, and look at all the utility it gives them. So many nades. You're going to have Davkos on that AWP once again. This time he's going to be at the B bomb site catching Hutchie out. He picked someone off in Palace. Now he picks someone off at the B bomb site. Hutchie was that aggressor who wreaked so much havoc in the last round, so that's a really good find. It also allows SDY and Dima to be aggressive on catwalk. Bomb is alone in mid, which is kind of scary.
Coldy in a good position. Oh, but it doesn't even matter. I was going to say he's kind of safe against that cold peak that goes into the A-bomb site. It's so nerve-wracking when you're holding there, because if they don't throw any grenades, you just don't know what's coming. It's going to be so quick, and that's what happened this time around. Still, they have that player and connector, and that's obviously going to be huge for them. I think it's Sotfik playing there. Might be able to slow down just a little bit. Flashbang to make it on over, and Davkos did a good position, instantly taking down Chopper, who wasn't really that quick on the trigger at all. I feel like he's been having a rough game right now. 3-on-4 and Team Spirit really want to win around here in the second half. Just try and pick it up immediately. Tony Black coming in with a great flank. And again, let's see how they hold this. Team Spirit, they need this retake quick.
Oh, that's going to pretty much end it. Crush with the double kill. There's no kits as well. And Davkos has got to hunt this down. He's got 3 kills. He's got to get all 5. That's a great no-scope. One more right beneath him. Does he have any idea where JR is? No, he's pre-firing, and he should get taken down here, and he will. Vega, they're coming back, baby.
They're doing a remarkable job at the moment. I think, was Crush standing in the fire getting those kills? All of them?
I did not see where he was, but that double kill immediately is just the dagger, isn't it? Because that was looking like Spirit could have possibly done it. We'll see. Where's Crush? Yeah, he is. He jumped up on top of the box. Great spray transfer. That's nasty.
That was... Because I saw him burn from 100 down to 22, and I just Wasn't even sure if he just disconnected from the game. Then he decided, look, I'm going to die here anyway.
I'm just going to get this double kill. It's going to be nice and easy.
9-12. The gap has almost entirely closed. What is it now? 6 rounds in a row for Vega. They are doing a remarkable job.
Yeah, and Spirit is another situation where they're just kind of out of money. They're going to be in that cycle where with this full losing bonus, it's going to be spend all your money and then have a half buy, and then spend all your money and then have a half buy. They've got a lot of utility, though, Anders. They've got 4 HE grenades. 3 of them are coming towards the A bomb site, but they're not actually stacking anywhere. So it's a 2-1-2, which was pretty much the same. Ooh, there's 1 nade coming out. Action is pretty decent damage. If they'd had, imagine if they'd had 2 there, or 3,
or 4. I don't know. What kind of auction are you hosting, Moses? Yeah, that was a good throw, but ultimately, I'm not sure it's going to make a big difference here. I guess if they come through the big hallways, is another good position to actually land those grenades in. So, Davkost going to be in charge of it. You're going to turn around. SDY hiding in the corner. CSET 75 out, and more people coming behind. He really wanted a little bit of space to work with, but it's still working out. Such a turnaround now as Crush is going to be alone. 1 versus 3. Wasn't even the grenades, just the running CCs on the bomb site, shutting it down. And Vega Squadron now going to be very frustrated about this turn of events.
They crunched on that bomb site so quick. I did not expect Spirit to have... They had 3 players there, essentially. Davkost was at the corner the whole time, but 1 player coming up catwalk as well. That is a beautiful swarming defense. There's no way Crush checks this. He's got to be worried about so many different angles, and he can't really use utility because then you give up the game. So an easy one for Cold. Now, this isn't the end of the world for Vega. If they can win this, they'll be in a much better spot. Spirit, it's nice. It's almost nice in a way that they've won this round with CZs because they get to upgrade to AK-47s essentially for free. So they haven't spent all the money they have in their bank. You can see Cold and Davkost and Sotvik sitting in the mid $3,000, $4,000 range.
Yeah, I feel like giving over those rifles is definitely a bit annoying if you're Vega, just knowing that they got all that for free, basically. Very, very quick smoke that they're throwing to the middle right now, and I haven't seen them fail it yet, so that's a good job on them, but what an opening from Crush. He really just wanted to get back and see if he could turn it into a B push with the rest of the team. SDY going to be calling it out now, saying they're all coming in. Davkost running right into it, but he's not quick enough. Hudgy will take him down. Vega, as you said, resetting the round loss bonus now would be huge for them. That would put Team Spirit economically. I mean, that might almost catch up at this point in time. Sotvik and Coldy, I don't think they can really do this retake. Again, even if they saved some of those rifles from the previous round, they just don't have that deep of a bank.
I think they're going to go for it, though. They have the kit, they have utility, and they're already here. I think they're at least going to stick around and see what kind of kill they can buy, but it's a dangerous game. If one of these guns gets taken out of their hands, they're going to be in trouble. Oh, and he wasn't even properly watching for that smoke to clear anyone out. Hudgy comes in delayed, and I think that caused Sotvik to not really be able to take the shot. So yeah, Cold now, he's got to fall back. That was a curious exchange. A 10th round for Vega. He'll be able to drop this AK over to Dima or SDY, and he'll still be able to purchase. So it's going to be 1 more buy for Team Spirit in this next round. But if they run out of money, they're going to get reset, you know, on round 24. And then they're in trouble.
That'd be very hard to deal with. Coldy could drop that AK over to somebody else and maybe pick up a rifle, but actually he's going to buy that AWP for Davkost, I guess? Did he? A lot of money invested into this round.
Everything they've got.
Yeah, and it kind of has to hold. I mean, otherwise Vega might bounce almost all the way back and just tie up the scoreline. It's at least close to that kind of level right now. So winning, what, 6 rounds in a row, losing 1, and then back to winning again. That's a pretty good recipe.
Look how fast they're going. Oh, they're not scared at all. 1 pop flash over. Here's the scope. He gets the legs underneath the smoke. And Crush is already into the A bomb site. 1 minute and 28 seconds still left. He's basically walked up. He's got 2 kills. This player at Ticket Booth can't really do anything. Molotov not reaching him, so he's kind of hidden in that spot. And Crush likely thinks it's secure, but as long as he doesn't push, it's not a huge deal. And they've taken too long. All the advantages that was given to them is equalized by Dima.
Now they need to wait, because Tony Black is on the other side of the B bomb site just waiting for it. But what a confusing round. If you get that kind of opening any day of the week, you get that opening double in A bomb site, that's it. You should be winning it. Should be no chance for you to really lose it, but you're right, they were so slow.
I don't even think they expected it to be that successful. I think that's why.
This play, though, from Tony Black could be absolutely huge. He's not going to get it. SDY takes him down. How does that work out? Should have been at least one. Maybe it would have been a return to bomb, but now they're on the bomb side. But you can tell that Hutchie's a little bit worried about putting down the bomb, and already a lot of damage onto Chopper. Vega, this should have been kind of an easy cleanup round, and couldn't find a way to convert that into a win on that A bomb site. Now they're back at B, 2 versus 3. Hutchie down here on the low ground. He wants to find that opening. That was almost a headshot. Could have definitely been it. The follow-up is great on SDY. And he hears the guy over at Catwalk as well, taking down Coldy. And the follow-up Chopper dropping the last player in Dima. What a beautiful defense after the plant here. And Team Spirit, I don't know how he did all that, Hutchie. He knew he had to do it.
Oh my god, that is heartbreaking if you're Spirit to claw yourself back into the round. Dima did everything he could, and somehow Vega is doing this, but great aggression from Hutchie, obviously pushing up, getting that kill. The follow-up headshot as well. Remember, Chopper only had 6 HP. If he went down to that Cat player, he read the flank perfectly. Saves the day. Team Spirit only able to scrape together 1 round so far in the defense, and they're back to pistols. This is a nightmare scenario for them.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
A really bad kind of nightmare, Moses. Can't really wake up from it, can you? And
Horses everywhere.
oh, yeah. Don't even say that. 13-11. They just can't stop what's happening here, and they were looking so great themselves on the T side. We were getting all excited, and right now,
there's just not a lot of adaptation on these CT sides, right? It's kind of like both defenses' plans is like to bang their head against the wall and eventually hope it works. They haven't really, outside of these rounds with pistols and USPs, they haven't, you know, done any kind of aggression. Remember, we haven't seen any mid pushes with the rifles, with an AWP, with anything. It's kind of sit back into the bomb sites and see what the opposing offense is going to throw at you. And at the moment, that's not really the winning recipe. The fact that a defensive setup can allow Crush to get all the way into the A bomb site from A ramp without anyone seeing him, kill someone behind the smoke, Davkos as he rotates over with that AWP, to kill a second player coming in from jungle before he's being spotted. That is very frightening.
maybe it's like a new kind of Counter-Strike mentality that we haven't seen before, Moses. Maybe defense is planning for failure, and they don't really want to do that. They say we just win all 15 rounds on the T side and then forget about the rest.
Best defense is a good offense.
That kind of thing. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even seeing much of that, are we? That's what I would wish that we'd seen. Something like this, actually. We're finally seeing a little bit of it here, running a couple of people up to top mid and trying to get that control. JR, though, is waiting for them, so they get called on that, but I still like the idea of the CT side just trying to get a little bit of control in this game right now. Sotfik going to still go down. Crush walking through the smoke at the perfect time. His crosshair was just there, but Sotfik gets timed, and this is going to tie the scoreline.
I think they've got to save. Now they might kind of stick around for a little bit to see if Coldy can get the flank going on, but yeah, they're backing off now. It's kind of heartbreaking. You're exactly right. It is cool to finally see them break out that mid aggression with that push. It just so happens it's around where Vega called right out of spawn to do 4 players at the A bomb site. Contact play, pinch up the ramp and out Palace. Nothing you can really do. 13-13. Again, the money is just so busted for this defense. This has been like Spirit has been fighting like 2 opponents, like Vega Squadron and the Economy all in one. Here's JR. Oh, that's an op you do not want to give away. That's a small mistake that could actually have huge consequences if they're bold enough to go get that.
Yeah, you really don't want Davkos to pick it up. He's been great in this game so far with the AWP. There is someone holding at the Palace that could maybe stop it. Tony Black, actually, he already is down the ramp. I thought maybe he'd try and get around the corner, so that should be just fine.
Ooh. That one is actually kind of scary. Because Coldy can drop the op over by himself at M4. That op can get dropped to Sotfik, and they can actually have a very solid buy in this. It can be 4 rifles. It can actually be 5 rifles with these 2 FAMAs. It's all of a sudden just got interesting. So small mistake there down the stretch from Vega Squadron, and otherwise phenomenal comeback. But the fact that an op is allowed over to Davkos, there's an element here that allows Team Spirit to maybe recover. He has not been able to get this weapon too frequently.
No, he hasn't, but he's certainly hit some great shots with it, so there is sort of an element of karma involved in this, isn't there? I feel like a lot of the time you give up that one little tool and it gets used right against you, so wouldn't be surprised if Davkos can find the energy to make this one work. Got a fairly common setup here on the CT side, and again, they're sort of not too aggressive in the middle. They really don't want to try and fight it all tied up at 13-13. Vega, they must know that the economy is low on Spirit's side, and if they can just break them one more time, then that's it. They can pick up their first win here at the Major. Great comeback already after such a horrendous beginning.
Well, this round's going to get slowed. This time there's no advantages found for Vega Squadron early on. They're going to have to fight and battle the whole way through. They're making the right call, though. They're going to smoke this off. They're going to let Dima stay in here. They don't care whatsoever. Is he going to come through that? Here's the flash. He is going to jump through it. They're not looking. They're not even watching for that double kill. Triple kill for Dima. Holds them all off. Holds the line on Catwalk. That should be another round for Spirit as Tony Black continues to fight, but not for long, and it's just Chopper.
Yeah, 1 versus 3. He's got 30 seconds to try and pick up that bomb, and even when he gets there, actually he's going to walk into a grenade. They had that one read very well indeed, and I guess the bomb plant would help them a little bit, but Team Spirit should have absolutely no way they could lose this round. Chopper on the bomb site, 19 health. I mean, that's only one of his problems. He's got nowhere to stand at the moment, and soon they're going to come look for him. There's the kill for Sotfik. Very, very good job. They tried to ignore Dima. They, as you said, they wanted to just run right past him, and he got their attention.
Yeah, he really did. He said, you can't pass me here, and that's a pretty desperate play. It's essentially the only play that he could have made. His teammate was alone in that B bomb site. If those 3 players actually make it up Catwalk and apply pressure to him, he's going to go down. This is all he had to do. 3 quick kills. So I normally, when you see a play like that as well, I mean, Vega Squadron, it's not necessarily a bad play, but you know, someone's got to keep their eye on that for just a moment, right? Someone has to be cognizant of the fact that that's a play that very much can be made. So once again, every time Vega gets close, Team Spirit takes 1 step forward.
14-13. It's quite few and far between these rounds on the CT side for Team Spirit, but then again, they did have such a big lead that they don't really need for much to work, and so we're just sorting out the tech issues here. We'll be right back into the game, of course, but hard to say who's going to come out on top right now. I feel like it's going to be one of those heartbreaking moments, Moses, where somebody runs out of money and just can't defend the last round they need to. It's
going to be gutting, isn't it? Because at this point, you know, if Vega had just kind of capitulated and fallen, you know, 16-5, 16-7 or something like that, you would have been, oh, well, you know, first half was just way too rough for them to ever come back in. And now it's like either Team Spirit is going to, you know, lose after having such a massive lead in the first half, or Vega's going to make this amazing comeback and then just barely fall short. So someone's going to be shattered tonight.
It's usually the way it works, isn't it, at the major tournaments?
Yeah, that's a good point as well, the pressure of that, which is also another interesting concept. I mean, Vega, I think, they've been in two majors? I think it's been?
Yeah.
3, so relatively experienced. I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, but you would think that would be one of the advantages that they had throughout all of this, right? Against a team like Spirit, and maybe, again, you would think that they would have some idea about the amount of, you know, the amount of homework you had to do beforehand, how much pressure there really is, and
I don't know, they never struck me as a team that was doing too much homework, you know, anyways.
No, just
although, I mean, remember, they were, until Mir left for Gambit, they were the longest lasting lineup we had in Pro CS.
Yeah, maybe that's wild. Maybe that's what they haven't recovered from yet. They're like, what do we do now?
Still a very new lineup, right?
We lost all of our friends.
I mean, that Mir was a big piece to this team.
Yeah, really good player as well. Love watching him play. Now, the round is resumed here, round number 28. And again, not seeing too much aggression out of the CT side. Not that you always have to, but sometimes you just end up playing in the dark when you don't know what's going on. And this time it's going to be a B execute. And if they throw the smokes that we see in European Counter-Strike, then that means SDY is pretty much going to be blocked out. There are going to be 2 smokes landing in front of him, and yeah, I think they're setting up the similar kind of wall towards the catwalk, so this B bomb site might almost fall with no contest at all. He's actually going to push in front of the smokes, which is also dangerous. They're going to land right on top of him, and Dima somehow getting the spray through a lot of damage to take down Tony Black, and SDY wants to follow through. He's going to get the kill on Chopper, and that's not bad at all. JR instantly taking out Davcost. He was maybe one of the few people that could have held a bomb site here, and from Kitchen at least, but now it's a 3-on-3, and the rest of Team Spirit are really far away.
Pressure on Team Spirit. This is going to be a tough retake. They do have flashbangs. They do have kits. 1 Molotov as well, but so many different spots. They now know the location of 1. Missed shot from JR could actually expose his teammate. Coldie down to 7 HP. That's over in market. SCY has to peek from Catwalk. That's a phenomenal kill to have. That's going to open up the possibility of this retake.
Absolutely crushed, though, up from that apartment's position, taking down SDY. Now he's going to be alone as well. One more spray, makes it a double now. Sotvic trying to see if he can hunt him down. The shadow already showing. Crush must have seen that. He's going to win the fight. Great triple to close out that round and tie it back up at 14-14. This game is all over the place right now.
That is mental. What good movement in the windowsill from Crush. Just barely dodges the vision. Playing a little bit of a game with his opponent. This is a tough round to win as his teammates fall all around him. And here it is. Sotvic just can't get a clean fight. I don't think he was fully expecting that. And all tied up. You could see what it meant to the Vega players after he takes that win. Now, tough decision for Spirit to make. Davkos has 5,500. I imagine, if anything, maybe he drops a couple pistols, but they're going to want to save for the last round. That's what's so difficult about this decision is you never want to save in a round where you have to choose to play for overtime, right? Like, you hate giving up that round that's going to allow your teammate the advantage.
Yeah, and actually...
Or the safety net. Oh, God, he's going to buy.
Yeah, I was going to say, but, I mean, there's no right answer, but you're right, if you do that, and the last round you just lose 2 heal in the beginning, it feels so bad, right? So...
On the other hand... It's not exactly the greatest amount of weaponry to fight with. 2 SMGs, 2 pistols. See, I think there is actually a right answer, and I guess it depends on your philosophy of Counter-Strike. I would have much preferred they save for that last round, play for overtime.
This whole game has been crazy, Moses. I feel like we should have expected this to happen, but if this fails, if Davkos doesn't get this early fight, Chopper is going to be walking around the corner, just good shoulder peek, and he's going to live.
If you're Chopper, you're wiping some sweat off your brow with that kind of a shoulder peek. Well, they're going to attack the A bomb site. And Spirit, Davkos trying to channel a little bit of his inner device, takes a shot with the op, rotates to the other side of the map, and actually is about to rotate away from the action.
Here's a problem with this kind of force that we might see play out as well. Normally, if you're playing in Coldie's position, you have some sort of smoke to block off the Molotov that's likely coming your way, and he just doesn't. So if he gets smoked here, or if you get Molotov here, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's probably not going to end up too well for him. His first one's on top, the next one actually not coming so far, and now he's up behind the smoke. Might have a bit of a chance here. Chopper on the other side, the timing. He's walking back past Cold, but he's still going to pick up the kill. Chopper getting the kill a little bit too late. And now it's a 3-on-4. Team Spirit, have they really found a way to force up back into this game? That would be incredible. Now pushing down towards CT spawn. Tony Black going to pick up the 1 kill there and waiting for the next one, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get stuck here for too long either, and he hears SDY losing that fight to the MP9, and now it's all on Chopper. The bomb, there's the defuse coming in, full 10 seconds with no kit, and he's just holding it down. They're blocking it. See if they can maybe body block it. There's the kill and the follow-up, and a great return. Vega coming into it again. Quad kill here from Chopper. Been a very rough game for him, but that just may have saved his team.
It's been a rough game, but he's had some amazing sequences, and that is a huge 1-on-2 clutch, and Spirit has just got to be... they have to be so forlorn. There's nothing they can do here. Vega is winning all these clutch situations. Even there, when you're in advantages, Vega, the only option they have, push CT spawn. Make sure you control that part of the bomb site. Make sure you control that area of the map for the post plant. And this is gutting. Team Spirit, the force buy almost worked. Maybe should have worked. Just falls short, although somehow Davkos just wins a tapping battle with an AK-47. You're not going to do that twice. 4-on-4 in round 30. Spirit, after a 12-3 lead at halftime, fighting for overtime.
Yeah, crazy scenes here at day 1 of the Major, and I can't believe that Vega made their way back. I can't believe they survived that round by having Chopper get all of those kills at the end. Big difference being seen there in the 10-second defuse as opposed to the 5-second defuse with the defuse kit.
Which also comes down to the force buy, remember.
Yeah.
Just not enough money to have the kit needed. Back to the A bomb site we go. Spirit have stacked over towards B. Now they have some time still to figure this out. Vega's starting to run, but maybe another 5 seconds before, or excuse me, 6 or 7 seconds before it's really been decided they're going to commit here. Before Coldie will have this information on A ramp. Remember, the shadow shows here as well.
Still, it's that MP9. It's just so hard to find any confidence that it's going to work out. He must have seen that grenade as well. Turning around, expecting a pop flash, and Chopper will take him down. And I think that might have been their last chance for any kind of hold. He would have needed to get maybe a double kill even to try and make this realistic. Sotvic here, actually a great angle between the smokes. That's not bad at all. Going to be a bomb plant on the other side. Chopper did go down, but it's a 3-on-3 and a good follow-up. rushing into the bomb site was Dima. They're really making this one close. They don't want to give up this game yet. They want to see if they can fight for that overtime. And Haji up here, JR down on the low ground. They've got a good setup to try and hold on to this bomb, and that's going to be it. 16-14 Vega. Incredible return for them here on Mirage, almost being completely out of it, but they made the full comeback.
All smiles, the Alper JR, 24 kills from him, a phenomenal job. He was great on that T side. Some critical kills. Chopper, obviously, that 1v2 clutch in round 29. That's what breaks the back. And I mean, either way, you have to say, no matter who wins this game, and we never know with the kind of regional matchups between teams that obviously know each other very well, defense is not ideal, I guess is the best way to put that.
Yeah, they hadn't really put too much stock into that, had they? That was,
no, that side of the map did not get a whole lot of time in practice.
No, maybe they were feeling rushed. They had a lot to do in the 5 months or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So. What a way to come back into a game as well. Just when you're that far behind, and you just, all right, well, we'll just do the same then and better.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do better for sure. Well, at least they get some time. They're going to, when they figure out who they have next, I think now you can look a little bit more in depth into what kind of the action, what kind of offense your opponent's going to bring out, and you can try and tailor something specific, but more than anything, just like mixing it up, right? Like we didn't see anything different out of these defenses, which is kind of weird to see throughout a whole half of defense.
Yeah, I feel like if you keep playing like that and you run into some of the harder opponents here at the Major, that probably is not going to work out at all. Right?
No, that's the thing. They will just get shut down by a lot of the competition here if they cannot fix that, and they have to fix it on the fly, don't they? It has to be quick.
Yeah.
Like there's no more time. Yeah, Vegas want to know. Also, I mean, they're just going to have to, they're going to fight for it. We'll see how they get tomorrow at the end of the day, and that'll be interesting. Paul is now ready for an interview, though, with the winners.
Alex? Oh, yeah. Hello, I was just speaking to Alex, one of the coaches and managers for Vega, but right now I'm here with Crush from the squad, or should I say squadron. It seems that the Sharks have found their prey. That was a monster comeback in the second half. How did it go that way?
Like, we had a bad start from the beginning, and we were quite confident on second side because, I don't know, we just won pistol round. We were confident in our like anti-eco rounds, and I don't know, we just keep going. We won like 2, I guess, important clutches, maybe 3, and I don't know, they were playing really bad after that.
They had a very good run at the minor. Did that intimidate you at all?
Not really. Like we played them before. I don't know, we just knew how they play a bit, not that much, and we just tried to play our game.
Something that our cast has mentioned that is often thrown around in Counter-Strike is that regional matches become more unpredictable, and they can become a lot closer, even if in the general sense skill gaps might be a bit more different. How do you feel your team compares to theirs, and did that regional battle or the regional side of this game play into it at all?
Yeah, like it's always hard to play versus CIS teams because we play like together, like even FACEIT and that stuff. And they know how you play, so I don't know, you need sometimes you need to overthink, or sometimes you just need to do your things, but do it confidently.
Okay, and what can you tell us about the best features of your team? What would you say we should look out for? Which individual players and team play should we be keeping an eye on?
You should keep an eye on every single player on this team. So I think we can surprise.
Okay, and so is that the goal here, to surprise? Because you are one of the teams which wouldn't necessarily be a favourite to go through, and you looking to prove people wrong.
Yeah, of course, like it doesn't matter what people say, like we will go 0-3 or 3-0, it doesn't matter. Like it's just how we feel.
Okay, well, great to hear, Crush. And then in the lead up to this tournament then, how were you guys feeling, since you've mentioned that yourself?
Like, great. I don't know what to say.
So preparation and practice has been on point, and the mood within the team is positive?
Yeah, like preparation was a bit hard, but it's better for us that preparation was hard. Now it's more easier to play. Congratulations.
Crush, would you like to say anything to everybody at home?
Yeah, thank you for all who's watching and cheering for us, who believes in us. That's all. Thank you, guys.
There we go. Crush, a pleasure, and congratulations to you and Vega Squadron for getting to that 1-0 tally in our Swiss format competition. Alex and our analysts on the desk, over to you. Everybody up.
Thank you so very much, Parler. And yes, indeed, Team Spirit go off to a flying start. A 12-3 half on the T side of Mirage. To many teams, that's done. team just have to do the handiwork on the second half, and you're good as gold. Unfortunately for them, unfortunately for Vega Squadron, a spectacular response from a 12-3 and a 13-2 response from Vega Squadron. Their T side just takes off into the stratosphere as all the individuals come online.
Just so everybody at home understands, maybe you're a new Counter-Strike viewer, Mirage is, look, it's one of the more even maps we have in the pool, but on the CT side, you need to be posting 6+3 is just abominable. That's not what you want to see. You're expecting better from these kind of squads. We prefaced this with it wasn't going to be a beautiful game of Counter-Strike. It definitely wasn't. There was lots of mistakes. They weren't really playing as a unit at a lot of times, but Vega were able to sneak through on, I guess, individual brilliance.
Would that be where we look then, Daps, when someone comes to you and says, how did this happen?
Yeah, I think if you compared both teams' T sides, I'd say Spirit has a better T side. They were a lot more fundamentally sound, I found. Their default looked good. They had 3 different ways of taking mid fast, and then they group up and execute A. Vega more so relied on individual plays. They had one round where he runs out upper B and gets a Mac 10 kill and hides Van, and then a bunch of other kills happen while they're all split up, and then another round where Chopper runs out Halls and kills Coldy Ticket, and then he just runs out assuming no one's there and takes A for free. So I think Spirit is the better team still, but I think they just got caught off guard and were sort of unprepared. Maybe they got nervous CT side.
I would say they probably, the moment got the better of them in that regard, because they were well and truly in the driver's seat to take that victory, and they're going to be disappointed because that's the step in the right direction. This is a game with both these teams we expect to be in the bottom 8 of this tournament. So. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if anyone's aware of this, but normally we get a lanyard. We don't wear it. Like it's a lanyard. Now what Daps is doing here is he thought it was like a necklace. He thought it was like kind of some swag tag, and he's like, yeah, talent. That's me.
I'm
brushing off his shoulders. But talking of Daps, now you selected a demo. I think this is actually displaying exactly what you were talking about, right? Some of the rounds that Vega were winning were just off of individual prowess. We'll take a look and see exactly what
Hopefully
it is.
we don't end up on Cobble.
Okay, fingers.
Anything's possible.
Fingers crossed, but we'll see if we can take a look at that demo, see if we can bring it up with the power invested in me, and let's see what exactly you were trying to show us here.
Yeah, so this is one of the rounds I was talking about. It's just, I think the B player doesn't have any head armor, so they're taking advantage of that, and they're going for an individual play here, and it's pretty risky, but they make the play, he runs out, gets the kill, and this is sort of what Vega's T side was relying on, which is sort of individual plays and A executes.
Does he just walk out?
Here's another round. I mean, this isn't as individual because he has trade potential with his teammate behind him, but just relies on a headshot, takes the site with no nades, and
Bob's your uncle.
It's more questionable what he does after that, right? He continues
he just runs
forward
across
and goes to CD spawn on his own without anybody throwing smokes or flashes. They were just doing whatever they wanted to, which isn't fundamental Counter-Strike by any means. That Mac 10 round is even more so. Okay, sure, maybe he's trying to sell a fake, but the thing is, he's so strung out for anyone else on his team. Counter-Strike is about a numbers game and about, having those power plays, and if you're just sending a guy into a bomb site with a fake with no grenades behind him, it doesn't really become a fake. It becomes a Hail Mary, and it's not meant to work.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, Team Spirit are going to be shattered after that one as well. I feel like you have that so close yet so far vibe of for half, and then you just watch it slip away from you, deteriorating and just falling into a pit of despair. We do have an updated bracket for you in case you've just joined us and are wondering what on earth is going on here. It's Swiss with a twist, and already we do have Vega Squadron getting themselves their first win on the board. The same can be said for the likes of Big, Tyloo, Ninjas in Pajamas, and Rogue picked up their first win. Cadian's first ever win at a major, he told us.
And Tyloo's first was the first Asian team to ever win a map at a major as well. So those are some firsts today, and his first time on the desk. So lots of cherries popped, and I think the next 2 matchups, the Hellraisers North and the Optic Team Liquid, have potential to be really good games.
Another word, a synonym for really good, is epic, and that gives me a nice opportunity to tell you about Epic GG. If you want to collect, trade, and share your favorite CSGO stars, you can. Just go to epics.gg, or you can download via iOS or Google Play.
Are we in there?
I don't think so. I think it's like top trumps.
Well, maybe Daps could be in there.
You probably are. I wonder what your rating is.
Probably not that great.
Device is 100. I can see there. 82 for Ricky. Is it?
So I'm probably at like...
Your eyes are really good.
Yeah?
I'm probably at like 40.
40?
30 maybe.
No, I reckon you're a solid 75. That's
75?
my call. I'm calling it now.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll check it in. You can check it out too, as that's epics.gg. Anyway, we're going to go to a break. We'll continue to talk about Counter-Strike when we get back. Ched says they're going to be good, and it will be. North versus Hellraisers is coming up after the break.